Hello, I'm Psyker, and I'd like to show you guys a tutorial on how to build something I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. It is a mangrove farm. This mangrove farm is, I believe, much quicker than anything else that currently exists for Bedrock Edition. It puts all the logs into a box here, although if you know how to deal with wither cages, you could probably get it to feed into a wither cage. Either way, this farm uh, has been very useful to me. I've been able to build very long nether tunnels all out of mangrove using this farm in my own survival world. And I've used my survival world to sort of iron out the kinks. Um, so before we get started on the tutorial, let me show you how to use it. First thing you want to do is you want to grab your mangrove propagules, plant it there. Come over to the control panel, make sure the overflow lock is off. Hang on. So the first thing you want to do is make sure overflow lock is off. And if you want to be doing more than one tree, make farm cycling enabled. And if you're going to be using automatic bone mealing, make bone mealing enabled. That will make it so that the bone mealing will be constant. And then once you're ready for the farm to just start shoving stuff out, start farm. And it will begin pushing the logs outwards. And then when it's about ready to grow the next tree, it'll start bone mealing. And you see, started growing. It grew the tree. And you'll see that it's starting to push the logs over here. I'd just like to note that you could easily use an auto clicker, just right clicking, standing right here, and the farm will continue while you're auto clicking with a stack of propagules in your hand. In my experience, to fill up the box over there, it'll take about maybe 20 propagules, maybe even half a stack. It just depends on how big the trees end up being. So As the farm continues to run, with you continually placing the propagules where the propagules belong, this storage area here will eventually fill out. And the moment that any one of these logs gets in front of the observers will set off the overflow lock, and the farm will immediately stop moving. Or at least it won't do another cycle. And then once the overflow lock goes, it won't really matter if you place any more, because the farm will be not moving. This is to stop the farm from tearing itself apart, accidentally, pushing when it can't actually push. Alternatively, if you want to just if you'd rather stop the farm before this storage area is full, all you need to do is come over here and turn off farm cycling and turn off bone mealing. It's that easy. Once farm cycling is off, it won't do another cycle. Well, it might do one more, but depending on when you shut off the cycling. But yeah, I've done everything that I can to make this as easy to use, make it reliable, and make it fast. Faster than any other mangrove farm I've seen for Bedrock Edition. So, let's get on to the tutorial, shall we? First things first, here's the material list. Here's all the redstone components you'll need. You'll need about just over 11 stacks of redstone dust, 9 redstone comparators, just over a stack of repeaters, 3.5 stacks of pistons, 2 stacks of sticky pistons, just over a stack of obsidian, almost 2 stacks of observers, stack of slime block, stack of honey block. Honestly, you can see everything here. 23 choppers, 10 dispensers. 20 stackable items of your choice, that's stacked to 64, and 3 unstackable items of your choice. You also need 9 powder snow buckets. And as for the non-redstone blocks, here are all the different wool colors for the different circuits. I would suggest building the circuits in the different wool colors just to make it so that you can keep track of which things you have built, and to help separate the circuits visually. That way, it's less likely that you'll get confused. So, once you've put this together, first things first, material list. Everything that you'll need is in these 2 chests. I will also also have a materials list in the description. First, let's go with the material. First, the material list. Everything you need is in these 2 chests. This world download will be in the description. I will also have the materials list in the description at the very bottom. So, once you have all the materials, come back and we can start the tutorial. First things first, let's build the timing circuit. If you want to center... First things first, we need to build the timing circuit. This will be the heart of the machine. This will be what decides how fast the machine runs. This will be what decides, what the machine does and when. Without this circuit, the machine wouldn't exist. From the center of the machine, and by the way, the machine will be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 28, 29. 1, 2, First things first, you're going to want a 29 by 35 area for your farm. Mark out the center. And from the very center, for the timing circuit, so first things first, you need to make sure you have an area set aside for your farm. This farm is 29 blocks wide and 35 blocks deep. Once you have that area set aside, the first thing you want to do is work on the timing circuit. This circuit will be built with white wool, and it will be the most important circuit in this entire build. This circuit will control everything else. From the center of your plot of land, you're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 towards the front, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up from the ground. Once you have those in place, you're going to place a dropper facing to the left and a dropper facing back into the first one. With these droppers together, you're going to put the stackable item of your choice into the right side dropper. Once your droppers are in place, have the dispenser coming out from the leftmost dropper. That comparator, did I say dispenser? That comparator at the top of this pillar of 6 you've built here, you're going to take a dropper facing to the left, and then another dropper facing into the first one. You're going to put the unstackable item of your choice into the right side dropper. Then you're going to put a block here, put a comparator on that block. From the comparator, you're going to put a dispenser facing in this direction with a powder snow bucket inside. Then you're going to put blocks out like this, a repeater on 4 ticks, facing into a block, a repeater on, I believe it's 2 ticks, I'm going to put a repeater on 2 ticks, facing out of that block. That repeater is going to be facing into another block, a redstone next to that, and a repeater on 4 ticks coming out of that block. From the redstone dust, you'll have another block. And from that block, you will have a repeater on 4 ticks. The repeater will be going into another block. Going to build out like this. There's going to be redstone dust here. With a redstone torch. From this repeater will be going into a block like this. This repeater, which is on 4 ticks, will be going into a block like this, which has redstone beneath it, and a comparator in subtract mode, facing out from that block. Going to then build out a platform like that, where you will have 3 repeaters on 4 ticks, and a repeater on 1 tick, like so, and redstone dust, like so. From here, you'll have an observer observing that dust facing into a block. Over here, you're going to want a redstone torch. You're going to want 2 repeaters, each on 4 ticks, a dispenser, and from this section over here, you're going to want a redstone torch feeding into 2 repeaters, both on 4 ticks. You're going to want a dispenser with a powder snow bucket inside, and an observer facing into that powder snow bucket. This observer will be useful later. This next part is a little complicated, so please pay close attention. From the block this observer is powering, you're going to want a repeater on 2 ticks, facing into a block, which feeds into a repeater on 1 tick, which feeds into another block. You're going to build out a shape just like this. Okay? The repeater will be facing into a shape like this. 2 blocks here, 2 blocks there, and a block there. There will also be a block right here. In front of that is going to be a block here, a block here, and a block here, as well as one here, here, like that. You're also going to want a target block right here. Next, we put in some comparators. Comparator in subtract mode here, regular comparator here, regular comparator here, comparator in subtract mode here. You're going to want dust in these places. Here, 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 and here. And I believe you're also going to want to put some glass here, and some redstone dust here, just like this. A repeater on 4 ticks right there. You're also going to want to put an observer, observing the space in front of this dispenser. If you've managed to get through this section without any mistakes, congratulations, this was the hardest part.